week ahead Astro forecast time. I'm just gonna give it a minute and let the notification roll out that we are live. If you are new here, I'm Sarah Nicole and this is Twisted Goddess Tarot with your Astro forecast for the week of September 20th. My goal is to help you navigate through the cosmic energies with awareness. We have a lot to chat about this week, so let's dive right in. So just full disclosure, this is probably going to be a long one. Today, Monday, September 20th, we have a full moon in Pisces, and I have the full moon in Pisces card right here to show you all. And it does say balance, spirituality, and practicality. Now, I know that the card says to do this, but this is going to be tough to do with this full moon in Pisces, and I'm going to explain that to you. Okay, so most of you know, because we've talked about full moons enough, that it is common for emotions and for intuition to be really heightened during that full moon phase. And Pisces energy to the mix, add Pisces into the mix of a full moon, already heightened emotions, already heightened intuition. Pisces is that very intuitive, very dreaming, ruling over the subconscious. So adding that into the mix, we are experiencing possibly the most emotional and intuitive full moon of the year. Full moons are culmination points. They signify fulfillment, completion, and they are a time to celebrate the fullness in your life. So when the light of the moon is full and it's illuminating everything in your life, it is really a good time to look around and see what in your life is being illuminated, what in your life is full, what in your life can you celebrate. Hey, Sandra. This full moon gives me strong vibes of the end of one chapter and the beginning of another one, okay? And this is why, because this full moon in Pisces is going to reach its full phase at 7:54 p.m. if you're in Eastern Standard Time like I am, tonight, and it will be at 28 degrees Pisces. So each sign has 30 degrees. Starts at 0, ends at 29 before it goes into the next sign. Okay, so this one being at 28 degrees Pisces, it is almost the very end of the zodiac wheel, because Pisces is the very last sign on the zodiac wheel before it enters into Aries. Okay, so this is at the very end. To have a full moon, which is a culmination at the end of the zodiac wheel, completion of one chapter, just before the fall equinox, next chapter, it just feels very poignant to me. So this is one to not miss. This is one to really sink in, do some meditating, do some maybe divination or meditation or whatever spiritual practice it is that you do to kind of prepare for the end of one chapter to the beginning of next. This is a really good one. This full moon just feels very poignant to me. It feels very strong end of one chapter, beginning of the next vibes. Now, this is why I was talking about the card here says to balance spirituality and practicality. And remember, I said even though the card for the full moon says, for the full moon in Pisces says to do that, we might experience some difficulty with that. This is why the full moon will be just a few degrees from Neptune, which is currently in retrograde in its home sign of Pisces. So Neptune here, which is the planet of dreams, okay? Very dreamy planet, imagination, subconscious, right? Spirituality, fantasies, escapism. This all falls under the realm of Neptune. This means the moon is going to be in a weak or a loose conjunction with Neptune. When two planets are conjunct, their energies merge and come together. It's almost like a union or a marriage of sorts. This is big, okay? Although it does strengthen our already heightened intuitions even further with Neptune and the full moon both being right there in Pisces. It also tends to lend to discontentment with reality. Okay, because remember, Neptune, which is in its home sign of Pisces, currently in retrograde, which means we're going within. We're internalizing that planet's energy, not externalizing it. And this does rule over fantasies and escapism, right? So while we are typically looking at culmination and celebration with the full moon, this full moon can swing either way. Either that culmination, that fulfillment, that celebration, or an illumination and a coming to terms with what aspects of your current reality is not fulfilling. See what I mean here? It can swing either way, with Neptune being in retrograde right next to that full moon in Pisces. It can either be a fulfillment or an unfulfillment. It can really go either way. This is one where you're going to have to kind of tune in. And remember, even that feeling of unfulfillment can be beneficial to us, because it can show us maybe where we need to put more efforts into. And especially surrounding our emotional needs, the moon, or our spiritual needs, Neptune and Pisces. Okay, and let's face it, the past couple years have thrown a lot of things into our physical realities that could leave us emotionally and spiritually discontent, right? So what area of life can you experience this based on your rising, aka ascendant sign? If you do not know your rising sign, you can put in your birth date, birth time, and birthplace into astro.com and get your natal chart, your birth chart. Even if you don't know how to decipher it, even if when you get it, you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me, it will be good to have it when I touch on how certain things affect you based on your natal chart in these weekly forecasts. Your rising sign will be called your ascendant when you see your birth chart, so don't look for rising sign because it won't say that. It will say ascendant, and it may be abbreviated ASC, okay? So let's see, how is this full moon going to be affecting you? What areas could you be seeing fulfillment or unfulfillment in your life based on your rising sign? Not sun sign, rising sign. If your rising or ascendant sign is Pisces, you may see this play out within your own self, your identity, and your appearance, because the Pisces full moon is going to be in your first house. If it's Aquarius, you may experience this in your finances, your possessions, and your values. If it is in Capricorn, your communication and your thinking, okay? You might experience fulfillment or unfulfillment in that area because the Pisces full moon is going to be in your third house. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, your security, your home, your family life, also your past, your foundation, okay? If it's Scorpio, romance, creativity, and children. If it's Libra, your job. This is going to be a big one for my Libra risings, my ascendant in Libra. Your job, your health, and your daily routine, okay? You might be figuring out that the job that you have in your current reality is not fulfilling to you. Or alternatively, you may find that it is fulfilling, and you may get greater gratitude for your job because of the fact that the full moon is a time of celebration of gratitude as well. Virgo, your partnerships and your marriages. Leo, your passions. Perhaps they are shifting. Perhaps something that you once were highly interested in, you're not anymore, and you're shifting your passions and what you really want to dive in deep into, okay? Cancer, travel, spirituality, education, because the full moon in Pisces is going to be in your 9th house. Gemini, public image and career achievements. If you're a Taurus rising, your friends and your goals. If you are an Aries rising or ascendant, your subconscious mind and your healing. Okay, be sure to take some time today or tomorrow to spend time in meditation and access this heightened intuition from the full moon. If you are someone who can easily get swept away, maybe you are a Pisces, maybe you have some strong Neptune in your chart, try to incorporate some grounding crystals like red jasper or onyx or obsidian today and tomorrow. All right, so that's what we have to talk about the full moon in Pisces. So I'm going to put that to the side. And now we're going to chat about Vesta. Vesta is moving into Scorpio, which is one of her home signs. Vesta is an asteroid goddess. So I like to incorporate the asteroid goddess. There's 4 asteroid goddesses into my birth chart readings and into the weekly astro forecast, because of the fact that the planets have a lot of male energy. We really only get any like feminine energy from the moon and from Venus. So I like to level that playing field and add in the goddess asteroids. Vesta is one of them. She represents the fire within, what is most sacred to us, as well as how we express our spiritual devotion. She is the keeper of the sacred flame. Vesta in Scorpio is passionate and wants to go really deep. You may be pulled to go deeper into truth and into healing while Vesta is in Scorpio. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. Where are my Libras at? My Libra sun signs. On Wednesday, we begin your season as the sun moves into Libra. No matter what sign you are, we will have our core self, the sun. So even if you're a different sign, even if you're a Sagittarius sun, a Leo sun, whatever, you're still going to be influenced by the sun moving into Libra. When the sun is in Libra, we are ready to restore balance and seek peace. Okay, we may be more considerate, more fair-minded. Libra is represented in the tarot by the Justice card. And I do have Libra right here. The sun moving into Libra. Okay, so Libra is represented in the tarot by the Justice card. So, with the sun in Libra, we are also concerned about our rights. Our rights. Without getting political, consider how this applies to the collective right now. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The sun moving into Libra also marks the fall equinox, the beginning of autumn, the beginning of fall. It is equilibrium of night and day, and this represents light and darkness in our lives. The long summer nights have passed, and we are now in a season of transition. The autumn equinox, also known as Maven, is a beautiful time to reset and to honor yourself and all that you have done in these past few months, because summer is all about growth, 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 activity, action, growth. So all that you've done in these past few months, the season of autumn is here to slow things down and lead you to what you need. Not what you want, but to what you need. Things are slowing down, the leaves are changing colors and shedding what they no longer need, and the same is happening for you. You are changing and releasing what you no longer need in autumn. Chiron, the wounded healer. Okay, we've talked about Chiron in the past when Chiron went retrograde, is making some major aspects to other planets throughout the autumn season, making it a perfect time to focus on shadow work and on healing. If you've not heard by now, I am hosting a 3-week virtual shadow work immersion this October, and it begins on October 4th. Okay, so what is shadow work? Since Chiron is making some major aspects through this fall equinox, it will be a good time to focus in on that. It is the process of exploring your inner darkness and getting in touch with the parts that have been repressed, leading to greater authenticity, greater wholeness. It's a way to integrate the conscious mind and the subconscious mind for true mindfulness and true awareness and true authenticity. We're all shaped, molded by people we come in contact with, by people we're raised with, and by experiences in life. And sometimes we learn through these people or through these experiences that certain aspects of ourselves aren't accepted by society, so we lock them away. Okay? We quickly learn as children what's accepted and what's not accepted, and what to repress and what to lock away. But in some of these locked away places, we may find our greatest tool for healing not only ourselves, but also for healing others as well. So what's included in this 3-week virtual shadow work immersion happening in October? Education on shadow work, emotional awareness practices, journal prompts, finding your golden shadow, a live guided meditation, a live Q&A session, a live integration ritual, a live group Reiki session. It is going to be 3 weeks jam-packed of guidance and of healing. I'm so excited. I'm excited for it. We already have 11 people who signed up and said soul yes to their healing. It will take place inside a private Facebook group where all content will be available for lifetime access. So you can follow along as we go, or if life is busy, you can self-pace it. Enrollment into this healing container is $33.33, so $33.33. You can either DM me to enroll or leave a pumpkin emoji and I'll be in touch with you. So that's all we have to talk about astrologically this week, and you can always catch the replay, and you can always come back throughout the week and leave a comment and say maybe how some of these transits are affecting you, how you've noticed some of these shifts within you. So as you know, what I like to do is I like to pull a tarot card for the week, kind of giving us a little theme for the week. And this week we got the 4 of Pentacles. The affirmation for this card is, I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. Okay, I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. This is all about security, stability. It is also about saving and kind of putting some pennies away for a rainy day, but not holding on too tightly. There's a fine line between like saving and lack mindset and saving out of fear. Are we saving out of security or are we saving out of fear? That is the main question that I would ask myself, and that I would urge you all to ask yourselves as well. And the last thing we do before we end is pull a sacred self-care card to remind us to take a little bit better care of ourselves this week. And this week we have sound healing as our sacred self-care act. The affirmation is, I receive healing energy with grace and ease. So sound healing this week is our sacred self-care act. You can either go to someone and have an actual sound healing session done. And if you're a sound healer, let me know in the comments, drop it in the comments. Let people know where they can access your healing at. Or you can just, what I'm thinking is going to YouTube and putting on some binaural beats or putting on some music that hits a certain frequency that you want to resonate at a little bit deeper. So you can do this a number of ways, right? You can maybe even go to the store and go to your local metaphysical store and get yourself a singing bowl and integrate some sound healing into your life in more of a daily basis in that way. Singing bowls are beautiful. You can actually cleanse your crystals with sound. You can cleanse your crystals or any other sacred items that you use with your singing bowl. So it's a lot more than just making a pretty sound. It is actually healing and cleansing. All right, loves, that's our sacred self-care, and that is our astro forecast. I'd love to hear a comment and let me know how you're experiencing these energies in your life. And remember, if you'd like to join in on the shadow work immersion, you can just leave a pumpkin emoji in the comments and I'll get in touch with you. Much love.